Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Botev Plovdiv. We are now into our third season. We are already 3 games into the league. You can see it there on the left hand side. But as this is episode 1 of season 3, as you can probably guess, there's been a lot of transfer business that's happened, so we've got to go through that. We've already played a number of games in the Europa League qualifiers. Today, we're probably only going to play one match. So tomorrow there'll be another episode, which will be the second match. So we're going to be up against Cukaricki in the first leg of our third qualifying round for the Europa League. We are still another tie away. If we beat Cukaricki, we'll be then into another match against someone probably a bit harder, and then that will decide who's actually going to make it into the Europa League proper. Anyway, transfer business, because there's been a lot of it. 2 players have left the club on free transfers. First up is Atanas Yankov, has signed for Verea. And Tomas Sivka has signed for Sarko Selo. For what is essentially a free transfer, it was £725. Dimitar Balanov has signed for Cariana, who incidentally are now our feeder club, which is good because we've got a lower down team now we can send players out on loan to. Hopefully they'll get some first team experience. For £30,000, Pavel Ivanov has signed for CSKA-Sofia. I think we've also got a 50% sell-on in there for him, only 18 years old. He's not amazing, really good physically, that's about it. For £210,000, or potentially £210,000, Dominik Kruzliak has signed for Trenčín, who I think are a Slovakian side. He has left the club, didn't really play a huge amount of football, spent a bit of time on loan at CSKA-Sofia last season, the eventual league winners. He got himself injured. We recalled him when he got injured, and never played a game after that. Another big name to leave is Dejan Kirkez. He has signed for Ludogorets for £700,000. I think we made a little bit of profit on him, not a huge amount. This might have been a mistake, because one of the next transfers, you'll notice we've lost another central defender. A really good one. It's Jurija Ludbas. He's signed for Liverpool. He's gone. I think it was like £5 million in total in the end. 1.9, potentially raising to 4.2. We do have a 50% sell-on in there, so if Lujbas is any good, obviously he gets sold from Liverpool, gets sold for a big number of money, let's say £20 million, 10 of that is coming our way, so I'm not too disappointed that he's gone. He was starting to be a little bit disruptive in the old dressing room, so Jerisa has gone, but we've got a decent amount of money for him, and another big player has gone as well. Because I didn't realise he had a 1.6 minimum fee release clause in his contract. And Christian Dobrev has left the club after 2 pretty good years for us. He's signed for AC Milan of all teams. He's probably not going to play any football for AC Milan currently, though he is sat in their first team, which is interesting. Worth £2.3 million. Now, I'm annoyed to see him go, but we have replaced him, hopefully. Joining the club then, first off, we will start with the loan deals from Lech. Timotez Klups has returned for a second season. He missed out last season for some reason. He didn't want to join us. He's come back for this season because I need another backup for Todor Nedlev, and Sheila is a foreign player. And as I mentioned in possibly the last episode or maybe the one before, I've gone and bought myself a lot of Africans. And Africans aren't from Europe, funny enough, and they're not allowed to play too often. So having a Polish right midfielder as a backup to our Bulgarian right midfielder, much better than the Georgian, who also doesn't count as being European. Also, joining on loan for a third season, it's Pavel Boshnovitz. He's back. He's never going anywhere. He's just going to constantly return to the club year after year after year. Boshnovitz has returned for his now third season at the club. 3-star, current ability, 3.5-star potential. I think he might be out of contract at the end of the season, so maybe we might try and sign him at that point. Last season we had Tin on loan. This season we have Marko Hodak. He's a 19-year-old Croatian right back and left back on loan from Rudez. He's come in as a rotation. 3-star current ability, which is actually pretty good. 4.5-star potential, which we won't see any of that apparently. But yeah, he's come in. He's not going to play a huge amount of football. The odd game here or there. A player who will get a lot of football though, in on loan from Ludogorets, is Nathanael. He has signed on loan until the end of the season. He was in the Bulgarian Team of the Year last year, and they transfer listed him. He's part Bulgarian as well, so despite the fact he's Brazilian, he also counts as being European, which is amazing. He is a lot better than Zemiarski. Probably will keep Zemiarski out of the team. Already played 5 games for us, getting an assist as well. Has an average rating of 7.54 after just 5 games in 2 competitions. I think Nathaniel's a very good signing for us. And the final loan player is a returning face. Stanislav Shopov, now 19 years old. He's still not really an adult, is he? 19 years old on loan from PSG. He is technically, according to the media, he is a wonder kid. I personally don't see it. I mean, he's good. He's definitely good, but he is back 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. I just want him to reproduce the season that he had before he signed for PSG, when he was just unstoppable. The first of 6 permanent transfers as well to join the club. Croatian attacking midfielder Vinko Situm. Free transfer came from Dragovolaj. My director of football just found him, and I looked at him and went, yep, decent mental stats, decent physical stats, 19 years old. In you come. 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He's going to sit in the under-19s, maybe get loaned out. The first of the 4 African players that we have signed during the summer. Fousseni Kamara, the 19-year-old Ivorian Mazzala, a natural Mazzala as well. He has come in from AFAD Jekanu. He's cost not a huge amount of money, £160,000. That is it, no additional fees in there. He's played 3 times in the Europa League, scoring a goal. He's played once in the Bulgarian First League, scoring a goal. This man, I wasn't expecting him to be the best one of the intake, because we've got 3 other good African footballers. Fousseni Kamara, I'd say third on the list. So far, he's exceeding all expectations. 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. I like Fousseni Kamara so far. The first of 3 Ivorians to join from ASEC Mimosas is Lassana Dia. This was the player who I was expecting to be the best player in the team. He's got 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He, for some reason, joined a little bit later than everyone else. I don't know why. But mentally, he's amazing. Technically, he's amazing. 17 technique, 15 first touch, 17 positions, 16 teamwork. He's got some really big numbers. If we can get his physical stats up, he's going to be amazing. And maybe learn to header, because aerially, you're awful. Dia has come in for £200,000. And that is it. Just £200,000. I think we've got another good little youngster. Speaking of good little youngsters, Charles Cater, 19-year-old Ivorian from ASEC Mimosas. He has signed 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential central defender. He's looking good. He's probably going to be one of those players that I want to loan him out. Because of all the players that we've got in that aren't European, he's probably the worst of the lot. So Charles Cater hopefully is going to go on loan somewhere. Don't think anybody wants him at the moment, so we'll just have to wait and see. Ideally, if he goes out on loan to Bulgaria, in I think it's 4 years, maybe 5 years' time, he will actually become Bulgarian. And the final Ivorian to join the club is Abdoulaye Sangare, an 18-year-old central defender, once again signed from ASEC Mimosas, and he is probably my favourite player so far. He is 6'6", he is massive, absolutely massive. Mentally, he's got some wonderful stats in there as well. Determination of 18, positioning of 14 as well. Concentration probably needs to be a bit higher, bravery needs to be a bit higher. He can jump for days as well, his strength is amazing. Heading's 12, needs a bit of work, but he's 6'6". He's 6'6" and his jumping is 17, which means, I'm doing some maths in my head, it's 100% scientific maths. When he jumps in the air, he's going to jump 18.5 feet, possibly. I don't know. He's going to jump really bloody high. He's costing us just £275,000. I think, once again, we've got a good little youth player here, only 18 years old. He's just about to turn 19, but still, he's still a baby. He's only a baby, and he's a 6'6" baby at that. And the final player to join the club, bear in mind the transfer window is still open, but the final player to join the club at the moment is Antonio Lukanovic, who is a Croatian striker formerly of Olimpia, scored 34 goals in 72 appearances for them over the last, 4 years, something like that. He looks very, very good. But then again, we also have our young Croatian striker who looks pretty good, can't score a goal to save his life. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He's 6'3" as well, so he's a big lad. He's joined, I think it's for £700,000? £600,000. There you go. He's played 1 game in the league, hasn't done particularly well at the moment. Slovenian side Olimpia, by the way, were playing in the Europa League, which means Lukanovic is actually cup tied for the Europa League, which isn't ideal. So we have spent £1.5 million on players this summer so far. The window is still open. Most of the money that we have spent has come from the Lujbas and Dobrev deals. We brought in £4.2 million, which is a huge number, although most of that, once again, is from the Lujbas deal, apparently, because that's going to be £4.2 million in total. A number of players also going out on loan. Rabatov to Chernomoreg, yep, that team. Chernomor, that's Chernomor, isn't it? I don't know, maybe. Balanov to our feeder club, that's what they're called, Karyana. Zelyakov to CSKA 1948, Kazakov to Dunav, Tomov to Vihren, Dimitrov to Dunav, Baltanov to Itar, Danchev to Dunav once again, Trifonov has gone to Tsako, Selo, Montana have picked up Nedelchev, Kolev and Kirchev on loan, Itar have picked up Omar Tape and Ramadan Mungwali, and Jose Figueroa, Jose, is it Jose? He's a Jose, I don't know. He's gone back on loan to his native Angola to Juan de Augusto. Probably not the best loan deal for him, but I've already decided to cut my losses on him. I don't think he's going to make it. So that's transfer news done. Now we've got some matches to talk about. As you know, we do enter the Europa League very, very early on. We only played 2 pre-season games that weren't competitive. One was against Grafisar and one was against AA Ghent. We won both of them 3-1. As you can see, first up in the Europa League, best place first qualifying round, we had Glenavon of Northern Ireland, maybe? And we beat them 3-0 in the opening match. Vutov, Nedelev and Trifonov with the goals. Then, in the away match, it was a 3-1 victory. Dobrev, Nedelev and Fuseni Kamara with the goals for us. Into the first league game then. We are unbeaten in the league. They're not convincing victories. CSKA-Sofia, a 1-0 victory away from home, and Antonio Vutov. Penalty back in the Europa League against Finnish side, ? We lose the opening match 2-1, but we did get an away goal thanks to Antonio Vutov. Back in the league against Botev Vratsa, Fuseni Kamara once again scoring a goal. He loves to score goals just before half-time. 47 minutes and 46 minutes on the clock for those ones. Back in the Europa League, it was a 1-0 victory against FC Lati at home, and we go through thanks to that one away goal from Antonio Vutov. Dalibor Tadijevich, though, did actually score a goal. He actually scored a flippin' goal. And then back in the league against Botev Galabovo, a team that have just been promoted, Timotez Klups and Plaman Bakadziev, the 2 midfielders, or the 2 wingers should I say, giving us the victory here. Today then, we're just going to have the one match, but it means tomorrow we'll have probably the Chernomor and the other Cukaricki game, because I think this is where we're going to potentially fall over when it comes to the Europa League. So I want to show this part of the Europa League, because if we get through, then good. Here we go then, the first match of the episode, our first match on camera for the season, up against Slovenian side, isn't it? Cukaricki, Botev Plovdiv, away from home. We are hopefully going to continue our decent start. We've only lost 1 game, but it was away from home against FC Lati earlier on in the competition. I just want to score a goal. I don't mind if we lose 2-1, as long as we score a goal, that's good to me. The starting lineup we're going to go for then. In goal shall be Alan Sherry. The back 4 will be Bressel, Sangare, Keita and Nathaniel. So 3 new signings there in the back 4. It's fine because Sangare and Keita can both speak French, which is kind of a good thing, I'm hoping. Lovro Grachfona will be the deep line playmaker with Fuseni Kamara in front of him. Nedelev, Vinko Situm and Antonio Vutov will be the attacking midfielders. And Dalibor Tadijevich will be leading the line because if you look down here, Tapsoba, not currently registered for the Europa League. We've got a few other players as well. Dimitrov, who's a striker, not registered. Basically, we don't have any strikers. Lukanovic, who's the new signing, not registered for the Europa League. Omar Tape's obviously out on loan. So yeah, we don't have a lot of strikers at the moment registered for the Europa League, which means Tadijevich needs to be playing. We don't have too many options. I'm honestly not sure why I'm playing Situm. I mean, he's a good player, he's a good young player, but we need the best players to be playing here. We can't play Stanislav Shopov because he just picked up an injury. Literally, as I pressed record, a little bit of news popped up and said, Shopov is out for 2 to 3 days, which is not ideal. So yeah, Shopov's going to miss this match. Nathaniel's taken a knock already, and he wants to be substituted. No, Nathaniel, you're going to have to carry on. Throw on for Cukaricki. Vutov can get the ball clear for us though, and not a single player in a black and yellow shirt is going to close it down. And now Ristic with the ball for Cukaricki. The ginger Bogosanovic, Djordjevic, Pantic, Ristic. I'm trying to get these names out and I don't really know why. Bressel calmly controls it in his area, and Alan Sherry can do a wonderful pass to find Todor Nedelev, who plays a lovely through ball. Tadijevich has no real support, but he probably doesn't need it. He's going to win a corner. The defender did manage to get a foot on it. Who's going to go over and take it? It's going to be Nedelev. It's always Nedelev. Corner towards the 6-yard box. Headed clear once again. And now Korsic can play it backwards, questionably. Throw on deep in their half for Cukaricki. It's not a good throw. Situm across to Vutov. Why did he play it backwards? Fuseni Kamara now to Grashfona. Where's he going to go? He needs Nedelev really to make a run. Or maybe even Bressel. Has to go back to Bressel instead. He's going to come inside to Grashfona again. He's going to play it across. Now Fuseni Kamara, the Ivorian, forward to Vutov. Where's he going to go? We keep going backwards. Grachvona all the way back now to Charles Cater. Grachvona again, pulling the strings in the middle. Nedlev plays the ball forward. Fuseni Kamara's in the area. He's gone down. It is going to be a penalty, and Todor Nedlev is going to be the one stepping up to take it, because he always steps up to take it. Unless he's not playing, then it's Antonio Vutov. Nedlev, number 8, straight down the middle. He doesn't miss too many penalties. His 3rd goal of the season. We are 1-0 up, away from home in the Europa League qualifiers, and hopefully it just stays this way and we go through to the next round where we don't play a team that are really, really good. And at half-time then, it stays at 1-0 thanks to that Todor Nedlev penalty. Not a lot really happened after the goal, so we're just going to get the assistant, Ivan Kochev. He's still here, by the way. We do need Tadeuszewicz to, do something, because he's struggling. He's struggling. I mean, he did score a goal. He has scored technically twice, but he was offside for one of them. He has scored a goal now, so hopefully his confidence might be back up. And by back up, I assume it was up at some point, maybe when he signed his contract. It's a free kick for Cukaricki. He's hit the top of the bar. It's gone over the bar. We are an hour in, and oh my days, that's not good. Pulled knee ligaments for Todor Nedlev. He's going to have to come off. I didn't sort out the subs bench, did I? Mladenov. Who's Mladenov? He's Alexander Mladenov. I just asked the assistant to pick the sub bench. Apparently he's already played once for us at some point. He's okay. He's going to have to play, isn't he? We're also going to do Tadeuszewicz off for Radislav Nenov and swap you two over. Situm can't play there either. But Nenov, by the way, this is Nenov. He came through in our 2nd youth intake, possibly. Maybe the 1st youth intake, not quite sure. He's a good player. He played quite well for the under-18s or under-19s last season. So let's give him a go in the first team, shall we? Final 20 minutes. Situm with a free kick. Why is Situm taking them? What is going on there? Is he really good at free kicks or something? Final 10 minutes. I'm going to demand more from them to see if that does anything. Nathaniel really needs to be coming off, because he's absolutely shattered. 57% and going down, but the full-time whistle was approaching, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-0 victory away from home in Slovenia against Cukaricki, and that is going to be a very good 1-0 victory and an away goal as well. So, I say the away goal. The away goal makes no difference, does it? The away goal makes literally no difference, because if they score against us, the away goal's cancelled out, isn't it? Full time then, wasn't the best, but it was still a victory. We're not scoring goals from open play. This is a worry for me. Todor Nedlev is out for 2 to 3 weeks. That's a lot of time for Nedlev to be out. I mean, Stanislav Shopov will be back after his bruised shin, but still, that's not good. That is going to do it then for this probably rather short episode, but it's the start of the season. I don't want to throw too much at you early on. So yes, we have bought a lot of players. We've bought a lot of Ivorian footballers. The transfer window is still open, so there is definitely more time to do some more business. I do need to look at bringing in another striker, but I don't want to bring in a first team striker. I want to bring in a backup striker. Tapsoba needs to leave. He's unhappy. So does Terziev. Vasil Shopov, another player. I want to try and get rid of him. He's unhappy. Got a number of players as well who are currently transfer listed. A load of players who are loan listed. 12 players who are wanted. That's interesting. Dimitrov, Stoyan Rusev, Luka Badzin, Martin Rusev, Angelov, Shernvakov, Bachkov, Hristov, Mihalov, Iliev, Hristov, and Yordanov. So no real first team names there. No names really that we recognise. Maybe Luka Badzin, Stoyan Rusev as well was a new-ish signing. And this list here is worrying. 11 foreign players. Sherry, Sheila, Tapsova, Sangare, Kamara, Dia, Keita, Tizzy, Tape, Figueira, and Mungwali. Obviously a few of them currently out on loan, but we need to try and shift a few more of them out on loan because they're not going to be playing football for us. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And I'll be back tomorrow with Cherno Moore and Cukaricki round 2. And hopefully we'll be through to the next round of the Europa League. And hopefully it's going to be somebody lovely and easy. It won't be. It'll be somebody really bloody difficult.